first, congratulations. Leading up to the decision being made, was there a conversation had between you and Jim Tabor?
Absolutely. And if I'm being honest, Jim has had this conversation with me from the first time I met him. Um, he exemplifies leadership in that regard, that he's immediately thinking about your future and anything that he can do to contribute to it. So we've had this conversation for 7 years. And I think just my role growing over the years and culminating to where we are today is a direct compliment to Jim's leadership. So we've had a lot of talks, and we'll have a lot more. Jim can have any place in any program that I coach that he wants, because I love him that much and I trust him. So I'm looking forward to it.
How ready are you for this?
Very ready, very ready. My experiences over the years, my time with Jim, the different roles that I've coached, different environments that I've been in, um, provide a somewhat dynamic set of experiences. So, all of the skills that I've developed, the relationships that I've built, I couldn't be happier about this, and I can't wait, and I'm so ready to get started.
You said you're going to win MAC championship. What gives you that confidence there?
Well, I think being next to guys like Jim, having coaches in my circle who've been mentoring me throughout my time, the system that we run, the school like of Siena that supports us, and probably more importantly, just the people that we surround ourselves with. We've had tremendous success, and everything is about growth. We're very growth minded. So we've seen an incremental success over the years, and we'll continue that trend.
You referred to the system. How similar and/or different is it going to be from what they've gotten used to over the last 3 years?
Very similar, very similar. Again, credit to Jim. I've been involved in the design of it since we've been together. And so there's been times where I've been allowed to input my little twist on the system. And so being excited about all of those experiences, but continuing to grow it, it'll be very similar.
How would you describe it or define it?
Well, we're gonna play very fast. We'll definitely maintain our goal of scoring in 7 seconds or less. We'll be very balanced. We're going to put 5 players on the floor that can all pass, dribble, and shoot. And we want them to put special emphasis on their ability to make plays for each other. And so the guys that are on the floor, the kids that are on the bench, they'll all be prepared and ready to step into whatever role the team needs.
Would you say that 7 game stretch a couple of years ago where you ran things, was that beneficial going into this?
I think so. I think so. It was an extremely smooth transition, because of the role that I played in the program prior to that. And I don't know if I realized how big it was. I just wanted to do my job, and that's pretty much my approach to most things. I just want to do my job. But to see the effect that it had on our team and for everybody surrounding us was pretty cool. So I definitely take from that experience, certainly.
There's always a ton of roster turnover these days. You feel pretty good about what you have back, though. You guys didn't really get killed by the portal too bad.
That's a good observation. Yeah, we lost. Well, we love all of our girls and student athletes, and to be honest with you, when any of them move on, it's sort of a bittersweet moment because we know what they're looking for, a bigger opportunity. But at the same time, we've grown very fond of them. So to see them go is never an easy thing. But we got a great core returning. We've recruited some awesome kids to fill those spots, and so we feel pretty good about our progression continuing.
Coach, how do you plan to, approach, that recruiting trail since you're now the head man in charge?
Yeah, it's I got to keep taking it back to Jim. I've been so involved that I've always had a lot of influence on what we've done, and I think the transition may be that I don't know if I have to check in anymore about what we want to do. It's something that we can just implement. But after spending so much time with Jim, it became very apparent that we aligned. So even that became easy. So we'll continue to seek out strong character kids that are all tough and talented, and they value teamwork and togetherness. And there's a lot of kids out there like that, and we certainly plan on talking to as many of them as we need.
When Jim announced his retirement last month, were you surprised by that, or was he kind of prepping you for potentially like, hey, this could be you soon?
Well, both. I was very surprised, number one, but I wasn't surprised. Again, day one, and so you're talking about a 7 year conversation. We've consistently talked about when the time came, whenever it was going to come. And maybe over the last couple of years, that timeline seemed to be a little bit more in sight. But, it's never done until it's done. And so the day that he announced it, it was still a shock.
Um, from the day he announced his retirement, you were getting very strong endorsements from everybody, Terry, from Jim, from John, from players. But they did announce, I think they announced a national search. Were you always confident that this was going to be the outcome, or were you wondering, gee, am I going to get my chance? Are they going to try to bring somebody up from outside?
Yeah, I don't know if you ever want to be overconfident about matters like these. I love Siena so much, and I love the people that are responsible for Siena that I was certainly bought into whatever process they needed. It really was an opportunity for me to grow in my faith and just be strengthened in that regard. So I was confident that it would work out one way or the other. So when it was announced, I was relieved because this has been the best place that I've coached so far, been the best people that I've been around. And obviously, this area has a passion for the two things that we have passion for, me personally, the game of basketball and young people. So I respected the process, certainly was bought into it, and was just waiting for the day, and it finally came.
Back-to-back semifinal appearances in the MAC tournament. What did it take this year? What do you have? What it takes to finally get over the hurdle as you get to work?
No doubt. Even last year with its challenges, we embraced every one of them, but we felt like we had what it took last year. And of course, we had some unfortunate circumstances, which turned into opportunities for some of our other kids to step up in situations they may not have been ready for. So that just makes them more ready for it next year. And we get those individuals back that we lost to injury, and we get to add a couple of pieces that only enhance what we're doing. So we're pretty confident, definitely.
A short time after the MAC tournament, Baby announced that she's going to be coming back for another year. So, what was your reaction to that, and how much, does her leadership as a senior mean to you?
Ecstatic. And not only is her leadership important to our program, but the example that she sets, not only as a leader, but the example of growth. Baby came into the program um, as a highly talented young lady with a lot of potential, and she spent as much time as you can as a human being to develop in all areas. And to see where she is today, we're so proud of it. I'm proud of it personally, and I couldn't be happier that she made that announcement. And looking forward to the success she's going to have and that we're going to have as a team.
Terry, how would you compare this head coaching opportunity, the one you had 10, 12 years ago, your alma mater? I mean, that was obviously different gender, different division. I mean, how,
Well, I'd say that the circumstances were a little different in such that I was a lot younger then, um, very passionate, and had come from some pretty good coaching stock, so I was very confident. Um, Back then, I think the position was more so keep the program stable for the big transition that we were making. I think we were in AIA at the time. We were making transition to Division two, and so as we were building the infrastructure to be successful, we just want to make sure we maintain good character kids, play the game the right way. And I saw a lot of growth for the program during that time, and still continue to see it. So it was a great time for me. I enjoyed every second of it. Learned a lot of great lessons that I've applied moving forward.
what made you decide to make the leap from the jump from men's over to women's?
It kind of happened. I'd say it was a blessing. It had nothing to do with me, actually. A lot of the kids that I coached had started to coach girls basketball. And some of them were affiliated with some of the best travel organizations in the country. And at the time, Crystal, my daughter, had started to fall in love with the game, and it just seemed like a perfect storm. I actually started out as a parent that they asked to coach on many occasions. I just refused to do it. I just wanted to be a parent. So I drove the buses, and I accepted money at the door. I tried to do every job that it took to not coach. And we had a pretty interesting scenario that happened in one tournament where a couple of hours before a game, they asked me to coach a team that a coach who wasn't going to make it coached. So we quickly put something together that ended up being a successful endeavor. It was one of the top tournaments in the country at that time. And from that point forward, it just kind of started to build this, um, should I say, this brand coaching the girls. So it was never my goal to do so, but the Lord just continued to provide the opportunities. So now at this point, I'm running with it.